In the remote fjords of ancient Scandinavia, where the land met the icy embrace of the sea, there thrived a Viking village. It was a place of extreme, untamed beauty, where the unending dance between the elements of nature created a landscape that was as breathtaking as it was brutal. The fjords themselves were grand geological wonders carved by the relentless push and pull of ancient glaciers that once ruled this land. They were vast inlets flanked by towering cliffs that stood like silent sentinels, their faces weathered by countless years of wind and rain. The sea, an equally imposing sight, was a churning canvas of blues and grays, matching the changing moods of the Nordic sky. It was a powerful, restless entity, its surface often whipped into a frothy frenzy by the biting northern winds. Yet amidst this daunting display of nature's might, the sea also nurtured life. It brought with it an abundance of fish, feeding the village and the wildlife that called these fjords home. Perched on the edge of this daunting world, seemingly in defiance of the harshness that surrounded it, was the Viking village. The homes here were humble, built with a deep respect for the land from which they were birthed. They were sculpted from the earth itself, their walls made of stones gathered from the nearby mountains, held together with a mix of clay and straw. The roofs were covered with thick layers of green turf, a clever adaptation to the cold climate that provided both insulation and camouflage. The mountains, the silent guardians of this isolated abode, were an awe-inspiring sight. Their rugged peaks, often shrouded in low-lying clouds, appeared to touch the heavens. They cast long shadows over the land, their imposing presence a constant reminder of the raw power of the natural. Yet the mountains were also a source of life and sustenance. They provided wood for fires and shelter, wild game for hunting, and pure, cold water for melting snow. From the chimneys of these earth and wood homes, tendrils of smoke would curl upwards into the sky. They carried with them the scent of roasting meat and burning pine, a comforting fragrance that spoke of warmth and nourishment. Each home was a beacon of life, standing as a testament to the resilience of its inhabitants. These villagers were indeed a special breed. Descendants of Odin, the All-Father in Norse mythology, they carried in their veins the blood of gods and heroes. They were warriors, explorers, and storytellers, each playing their part in the survival of their community. They prided themselves on their strength and valor, attributes that were essential in this harsh land. The changing seasons brought with them varying challenges, testing the resolve of the village with each passing month. The dark winters were a time of survival, as the land was blanketed in snow and the sea turned into an icy wilderness. Yet the villagers faced these hardships with stoicism and determination, embracing the struggle as a part of their identity. When spring arrived, it brought with it a sense of rebirth. The snows melted, filling the streams with rushing water. The mountains bloomed with vibrant green life, and the sea teemed with fish. It was a time of abundance and celebration, a much-needed respite after the harsh winter. Despite the harshness of their surroundings, the villagers lived in harmony with the land. They understood its rhythms and respected its power. Their lives were intimately bound with the cycles of nature, and they thrived, not in spite of the challenges, but because of them. The villagers, descendants of Odin, prided themselves on their strength and valor, living in harmony with the land that tested their fortitude with every passing season. One night, under the celestial dance of the northern lights, this tranquility was shattered. The quietude of the night was broken, the silence torn asunder. The sleepy hamlet, nestled against the backdrop of the majestic northern lights, was robustly shaken from its peaceful slumber. The villagers residing in their modest huts were suddenly jolted from their dreams to a reality far beyond their wildest imaginations. A thunderous roar cleaved through the sky like the wrath of the gods themselves. It was an ear-splitting, heart-rending sound, full of power and fury. It was a sound that would forever be etched into the memories of those who heard it, a sound that would reverberate in the depths of their hearts for years to come. It was a sound that simultaneously evoked feelings of dread and fascination, as if they were standing on the brink of an unknown and exciting adventure. Then, a blazing light surged over the horizon, a spectacle of unimaginable proportions. A cascade of radiant beams danced across the night sky, outshining even the northern lights that, until that point, had been the most stunning display these humble villagers had ever witnessed. The world turned from the soothing shades of night to a vibrant, searing tableau of color, painting the landscape in hues of gold, orange, and burgundy. The earth trembled under the force of the impact, shuddering as if in fear of the unknown. Vibrations were sent through the ground, shaking the very foundations of the village and its inhabitants. The earth, their steady trustworthy, was betraying its own mysterious fright, leaving the villagers in a state of unease and bewilderment. Suddenly a strange craft, unlike anything the Norsemen had ever seen, crash-landed in the nearby forest. It was a wonder of alien technology, a spectacle that was both terrifying and fascinating in its oddness. The villagers could only stare in stunned silence, their minds struggling to comprehend the remarkable sight before them. The strange craft was beyond their understanding, a testament to a world beyond their own. The impact set the ancient pines ablaze, the flames greedily consuming the towering trees. The once peaceful forest was now a raging inferno, a fiery spectacle of destruction and chaos. The crackling of the flame was a dreadful symphony, a cacophony of devastation that echoed through the night, a tragic testament to the grandeur of the event. Fear and wonder seized the villagers as they watched, their hearts pounding. Their minds were a whirlwind of questions. What was this strange craft? Who or what had brought it crashing to Earth, and what did its arrival mean for them? The villagers could only stare in terrified awe, their simple lives irrevocably changed by the omen that now stood before them. The arrival of the unknown had shattered their tranquility, their peace now a distant memory. But as the initial shock began to subside, a new feeling began to take hold. Amidst the fear, there was a sense of anticipation, of possibility. The unknown was terrifying, yes, but it was also fascinating, an opportunity perhaps for something entirely new. Fear and wonder seized the villagers as they pondered the omen before them. The celestial dance of the northern lights was now merely a backdrop to a far more compelling performance, and the tranquility of their existence had been violently disrupted. Their world had been turned upside down, and the future was now an unwritten page filled with endless possibilities. By dawn, the thing had gathered, a council of the village's wisest and bravest. Under the fiery hues of the morning, the council convened, a gathering of grizzled warriors and wise elders, their faces etched with the lines of age and the tales of countless battles. Each man and woman there was a pillar of the community, a beacon of strength and wisdom in their own right. At its heart stood Erik, young but already marked by the scars of battle and the wisdom of the old sagas. Despite his youth, he had already proven himself to be a formidable warrior, a fearless champion who had faced the beast of the wild and the storm of the sea. Even the old warriors, men and women whose experiences had hardened them into living sculptures of strength and resilience, nodded in respect when his name was spoken. He stood tall, his broad shoulders a testament to the many trials he had overcome, the battles he had fought, and the burdens he had shouldered. His scars were many, each one a badge of honor, a testament to his strength and determination, a proof of his bravery. Yet his eyes held an old wisdom, a wisdom that seemed to echo the ancient sagas that the village elders often recited. His voice rose above the murmur of the crowd, a strong and steady that resonated with the power of his convictions. It was a voice that commanded attention, a voice that carried with it the weight of wisdom and experience beyond his years. His words flowed like a river, calming the turbulent sea of fears and uncertainty that had been churning within the hearts of the villagers. He addressed them, not as a commander to his troops, but as a brother to his kin. His words were not orders but heartfelt sentiments, a balm to soothe their troubled hearts and kindle a flame of hope and curiosity. His gaze swept over the gathered crowd, meeting the eyes of every man, woman, and child, reassuring them with a silent promise of unwavering resolve. "We must face this new challenge as we have all others," Erik declared, his words echoing through the still morning air. There was a fire in his eyes, a fire that was reflected in the hearts of the villagers as they heard his call to action. It was not just a fire of ambition and courage, but also of determination and resilience. It was a fire that promised to burn brighter in the face of adversity, a fire that would not be extinguished by the cold breath of fear. His words hung in the air, a beacon of hope. In the face of the unknown, they filled the hearts of the villagers with renewed vigor, turning their fear into a resolve as strong as the steel of their weapons. His words were a call to arms, a call to stand together and face the challenge that lay ahead, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart. "Tonight, we dine the gods, or we greet them in Valhalla." His declaration reverberated across the village, echoing in every heart, every soul. It was a promise, a vow, a battle cry that turned the tide of fear into a wave of courage. As the first light of dawn bathed the village in a warm glow, the villagers prepared for the coming battle, their hearts filled with the fire of courage, their spirits buoyed by the promise of their young leader. Armed with axes and shields adorned with the symbols of their gods, the villagers approached the smoldering crater with a mixture of dread and determination. The villagers were not ordinary folk, but robust Norsemen, their veins thrumming with the blood of their forefathers who had braved the harsh Scandinavian winters and hard-won battles. These were the men of myth and legend, the fearless warriors, the mighty Vikings. Their courage was tempered by the cosmos themselves, birthed in the crucible of harsh survival and centuries-long conflicts. They moved with the cadence of a deadly ballet, their footfalls echoing their unyielding resolve. The forest, once vibrant and teeming with life, now lay razed to the ground, scorched by a fire not of this world. It was a distressing sight, their once familiar woodland now a charcoal-black canvas, a stark reminder of the cataclysmic event that had transpired. Each step towards the epicenter of destruction was a tacit acknowledgement of the unknown they were about to face. At the edge of the destruction, where the forest had been scorched to cinders, they found the craft. A ship not made from timber and iron, but of an unfamiliar metallic material, pulsing with an uncanny light that seemed to ripple and dance beneath the surface. The strange humming emanating from it was rhythmic, almost hypnotic, a siren's song of power and mystery. The air around the craft was heavy, thick with the scent of ozone and the bitter tang of charred pine. It was an aromatic cocktail of the otherworldly and the familiar, a testament to the clash of two worlds. The Vikings, in their traditional circle formation, encircled the downed craft. Their shields with their god symbols glistened under the ethereal light, creating a hypnotic tableau of pulsating colors and patterns. The moment was pregnant with anticipation, a dance of light and shadow, of the known and the unknown, of fear and bravery. In the stillness, the heartbeats of the warriors were the only sound that punctuated this eerie calm. Suddenly, a section of the vessel hissed open, revealing beings that were tall and imposing, with skin like the shimmering scales of a serpent, and eyes glowing with an eerie, otherworldly light. Their appearance was magnificent, awe-inspiring, yet terrifying. Their scales shimmered, reflecting the changing light from the craft. Their eyes, piercing and glowing, seemed to encapsulate the within their depths. They wore armor that seemed to be forged from the night sky itself, a testament to their otherworldly origins. In their hands they held devices that hummed with the threat of unseen forces. The devices were foreign, their design unlike any the Vikings had ever seen. The pulsing energy was almost tangible, a testament to the incredible power contained within. The encounter was tense, the air crackled with the potential for violence. It was a standoff, a silent negotiation between two species from vastly different worlds. A misstep from a young Viking, too eager to prove his bravery, led to a skirmish. The sound of axes clashing against alien shields filled the air, the sharp metallic resonance a grim symphony of conflict. Sparks flew, painting the night sky with brilliant streaks of light under the force of steel. It was a dance of violence, a testimony to the primal instinct of survival. But the aliens fought not to kill, but to disarm, their movements precise and almost regretful. Every move was calculated, executed with an ease that spoke of their superior fighting abilities. Their reluctance to inflict harm was evident in their actions, a sign of a race that valued life, even if it belonged to a different species. They moved with purpose and precision. The skirmish ended as abruptly as it started, a display of alien technology and Viking resilience, a clash of civilizations. Armed with axes and shields adorned with the of their gods, the villagers had approached the smoking crater with a mixture of dread and determination, and they left it with a profound sense of awe and understanding. The encounter was a testament to their courage, their ability to face the unknown head-on. But the aliens fought not to kill but to disarm, their movements precise and almost regretful.